1414 is an aggressive opener for the Zerg vs Zerg matchup in Legacy of the Void. This opener uses early game aggression to control the pace of the game and then expands off of that aggression. If you played back in early Wings of Liberty, you will know this build was a staple back then, but it needed to be modified for the new Legacy of the Void economy. A lot of people are playing far too greedy in Legacy of the Void right now, myself included, and need to be punished, thus bringing some life back to this old school opener. I found out the hard way by trying to get away with Hatch first gasless against the same guy going 1414 over and over, and finding that I just ended up behind every time. This guide will cover just the opener, but I'll talk about some good transitions after. Let's get into how to execute the build. First off, rally your Overlord to in front of the opponent's ramp. Next up, with the first drone, we're going to rally him to the extractor to take that at 14 supply. As soon as you hit 200 minerals, go ahead and take the spawning pool. Make sure to rally guys into the gas geyser. Then, as soon as you hit 75 minerals, we're going to go ahead and extract a trick to get one more drone out. Then at 15 supply, we're going to go ahead and start an Overlord as soon as we have the minerals for it. And when we're approaching 100 gas, we're going to pull 2 off the gas geyser. We're going to start Zergling speed as the spawning pool finishes. We're going to start a queen as the spawning pool finishes. And we're also going to go into full Ling production. In a real game, we'd be rallying the Zerglings across the map to the opponent to put on pressure, but since this is just an example game, to make it easier to follow, I'm going to keep them at home for now. We're going to build 5 sets of Lings, bringing us up to 22 supply, and then once we hit 22 supply, we're going to rally a drone down to the natural to take the expansion. After that, we're going to get one more drone and start an Overlord when we have the minerals, and then as soon as we have the gas, we will drop a Baneling nest. And at this point, we've got a choice. We can either build drones up to 28 supply, or we can build Zerglings up to 28 supply. It's basically, how aggressive do you want to be? I found that Zerglings works really well against a player who's gone hatch first, and I found drones work better against a player who's gone pool first, just because against a pool first player, it's more unlikely that you're going to get some real damage done. At 28 supply, we're going to go ahead and start our second queen, and then at 30 supply, we're going to build an Overlord. And that's it for the opener. From this point, it all gets a bit crazy. The opponent is going to be reacting, building Zerglings himself. There's probably going to be some kind of counterattack, and it's up to you to decide how many units you build. Do you need a spine crawler and things like that? It can get quite hectic. It is a ZBZ with Ling Bane Wars. And I will talk about the transitions after this. I just want to show you what to do with the aggression. Aggression is a key part of this build, and executing well while keeping up with macro can be quite tough. I found the best way to get consistent damage done with the small amount of Zerglings you have is to simply pressure the hatchery and wait for them to come to you. Try to pick off Zerglings as they pop out or if they overextend. Do the same for queens and drones. As soon as your Baneling nest finishes, you'll have 50 gas and more 2 Banelings. Use these to try and hit the Zerglings of the opponent. If you manage to hit the Zerglings, then you will get yourself an insurmountable lead. Also, since you'll need to be reactive, make sure you keep an eye on just how many Zerglings he's building so you know what you need to build for defense. If the game goes past the early game Ling Bane Wars, you can go into whatever style you prefer. Right now in Legacy I'm favouring a Mutalist style, but previously I was using Lurkers. I find that these 2 styles are the strongest for me, but Roach styles are still a possibility. They just require you to hit a timing before Lurkers, or put you in an awkward situation versus Muta openers, which I don't like. My name's Fana. Peace, guys.